We're here with Glen Mills. He is the head coach of Team Ontario that are participating in the 2018 Football Canada Cup in Calgary, Alberta this upcoming month. Glen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Glen, my first question from you, for those people that don't know about your career, can you give them a little bit of insight as to who you are?
Well, I've been coaching almost 30 years after finishing playing, and then I've coached at pretty much every level. I coached, this is my sixth year at the Canada Cup. I coached 2 years at the World Championships. I've coached university football at the University of Windsor and Western. I was also in a camp for the Edmonton Eskimos, doing some guest coaching there. So I've had an opportunity to kind of coach a lot of different levels, a lot of different kids, and I've done some stuff in the U.S. at Michigan, Indiana, some different things like that. So I've had an opportunity to kind of coach all over.
So let's talk a little bit about this year's version of Team Ontario. What can we expect from the team this year at the Football Canada Cup?
You know, we're excited about. I think our quarterback play will be very, very good this year. And not saying last year, it's just been kind of up and down. We've had a little bit of bad luck over the last couple of years with quarterbacks and just with injuries and different things. So I think this year our quarterback play is very, very good. Our offensive line play will be very solid, and defensively, I think our defensive line play will be very, very good as well.
So let's go a little bit about the three facets of the game. First off, let's talk about the quarterbacks. Who are they? And can you give us a little bit of insight into their playing style, how they might complement each other or be different from each other?
One is Ryan Liccardo, who is a drop back passer, very strong arm, very smart young man, very, very talented young man. Has some opportunities, I believe, in the States that are coming up. The other one is Xavier Gervais. Xavier can, he can do a lot of things. He can punt, he can kick. He's a tremendous receiver, very, very gifted athlete, can really run. So they are completely different, but again, both very, very talented in regards to what they bring to the table.
And on the offensive side of the ball, what can we expect there in terms of what the offense will bring to Team Ontario? But also, if you could name a few players to watch.
Well, I think you'll see, running back. We're very solid running back. There's quite a few different guys. I don't think there'll be one guy that'll be back more by committee. JP Cercelli's running the offense. It'll be a very, very versatile, I think dynamic offense that'll be able to do a lot of things. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be a key and run or pass. I just think it'll be very solid across the board. Again, like I said, I don't know if there'll be any real standouts. It'll be more by committee, I think, than it will be standout.
Okay, and on the flip side, the defense.
Well, defensively, I think on the D-line wise, we got 5-6 kids that are going to be impact players. They're very, very physical. We're big. We're fast on the defensive line. Linebacker wise, I think we're pretty decent as well. We're pretty athletic. We'll just have to see how it comes together. It's all the biggest thing is how these guys come together. It's kind of a quick tournament, and you got to make sure your camp goes solid. And it all depends on how they come together. And I think the team that can do that the best is obviously the team that's going to win the tournament.
And how integral of a role is special teams going to be playing in the tournament for Team Ontario?
Special teams are always huge. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is you got to make sure you make plays on special teams. And again, for us, you got to have some athletes, and I think we have that. But with being in camp for such a short time, every team's in camp 4 or 5 days. You got to throw together an entire, kind of an offense, defense, special teams. I think that's the difference maker, is how well you play on special teams, and whether you make big plays or whether you make mistakes, right? And those are the difference makers in these tournaments, and it just comes down to reps and just making sure that you can get the job done.
So your opponent in the first game, yet again, is Nova Scotia. We know last year in Wolfville it was a very tight game, and you did come out with the win, and in the end you did end up with the bronze medal. Can you talk about how much planning you've done for Nova Scotia, what you know about them, and what you expect going into this game against them.
Nova Scotia's continually gotten better. I think every team in the tournament's continually gotten better, even New Brunswick, and they definitely were fired up to play us last year. And I think sometimes, as kids, they don't realize that you bring your A game every game. Every young man in this tournament is very talented. They're all looking to play at the next level, so we just have to. I think we have to understand that, and we're very talented. But sometimes I don't know if we. I think last year we underestimated Nova Scotia a little bit, and it took us a while to get rolling, and it was a tight game for quite a while. So we just got to bring our A game, and concentrate and do the things that we do well, and I think we'll be in good shape. Against anybody, but we definitely got to play, 48 minutes of football and not 12 minutes of football.
What will be the goal for Team Ontario at the 2018 Football Canada Cup?
You know what? It's always gold medal. I think that's the biggest thing. And, I think the last couple of years, we came up a little bit short. I think we lost twice the last 2 years to Saskatchewan by 2 points or 1 point to get to the gold medal. And it's always a gold medal. And like I said, the last couple of years, I think it's been a little bit of heartbreaker in regards to get into the finals. But it's definitely to win a national championship.
Glen, how many players are returning from last year's team?
I think we have 4 players that are returning from last year.
If you could describe this year's version of Team Ontario in one word, what would it be and why?
It would be, good question. What would it be? I think the biggest thing for us is I don't think you're going to see anybody. The one thing that we've been coaching and preaching is I don't need standouts. I want to be together. I want to win as a unit and lose as a unit. I don't need guys that are dynamic football players, just one guy here, one guy there. We need to play together. We need to play for each other. And I think that's the biggest thing. If we do that, we're going to be very, very successful. And that's the exciting part. I think that we bought into is that we're all in this together, and nobody's better than anybody else. We're going to, play as a unit.
My final question, what are you most looking forward to this year's Football Canada Cup?
I just think the competition. I love the competition part of it. I love to see these young men from every province go out and just compete and see where it takes them, right? I think the big thing is guys rise to the occasion. You see some kids that really, really step up and play well and end up making Team Canada that you go, wow, that young man, you didn't really expect that from him. So I think, these tournaments really bring out the character and the competition in young men that, that will, fuel them, I think, down the road, their football careers, which I think is the biggest thing. It's always about competing against the best in Canada, and I think that this tournament is great for that.
Thank you, Glen, for joining us.
Thank you.
That was Glen Mills, head coach for Team Ontario. They will be participating at the 2018 Football Canada Cup, which is happening later this month in Calgary, Alberta.